Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. I was on a spring break hiatus, but now we're back. I have an exciting slate of videos coming in the next few weeks for you guys. And here to kick it off is our first ranking in a few months. I'm going to be ranking all 4 of the Monsterverse movies, from Godzilla to this year's Godzilla vs. Kong. So, here we go. The idea of a cinematic universe was kind of first created in 2008 with the first release of Iron Man, beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And since then, there have been countless other attempts to kind of recreate the magic that Marvel was able to make their fans experience with their movies. There's the Conjuring universe, the DCEU, and the Monsterverse, which came around in 2014 with its first movie, Godzilla. So, there's only been 4 installments so far. It's not the biggest of cinematic universes, but it's definitely gonna leave a mark on the film industry for a while. So coming in at number 4 is that first installment, 2014 Godzilla. My main problem with this movie is that Godzilla doesn't show up enough. I mean, your title character has to be a presence throughout the whole film, and with this one it just really isn't. I mean, Bryan Cranston's character has an emotional connection to the Mutos, but not to Godzilla. Godzilla shows up in the last half an hour and saves the day, and you can't even see most of the fight because it's in the dark, and every time we see a window into what's happening, it cuts to another scene with Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character or Elizabeth Olsen's character. So the humans are kind of put ahead of Godzilla in this movie, which makes it the weakest out of the 4. Godzilla doesn't even use his atomic breath until maybe 15 minutes before the movie ends, so just kind of an underutilized part of the movie. When you're marketing it as a Godzilla movie, people want to see Godzilla. And so when you watch an hour and a half, only to get 5 minutes of Godzilla actually fighting, doesn't really feel worth it. Also, Bryan Cranston was killed off in the first act, which felt like a really interesting choice because he was the one who was actually not really a compelling character, but the one they were supposed to care about. And they killed him off before we even got to see the end of his character arc. And Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character isn't the most compelling. He's kind of just like your standard military guy. And so seeing him kind of at the forefront of that problem isn't really what the film should have done. And so Bryan Cranston dying was a really interesting choice and not really one that helped the film at all. At number 3, I would put a sequel to that one, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Here we get to see so much more of Godzilla. He's there from the beginning. He has even some emotional moments with Ken Watanabe's character. So he's just much more of a presence. We see him fighting Rodan and Ghidorah, and Mothra shows up, and it's just a bunch of kind of monster battles and a lot of action, which is really what I wanted to see with the first one. This one, the human characters are still kind of stupid and pointless, but there have to be human characters because, we can't just watch a monster punching a monster for 2 hours. It would be fun, but it wouldn't be a movie. So, Millie Bobby Brown, Kyle Chandler, they're all good actors, but they're kind of just underutilized because, this is a movie about Godzilla and other monsters, not about them. I will say the character development on Vera Farmiga's character was a little interesting. She seemed like kind of an Ultron or Thanos type, just kind of like an environmentalist gone too far, but it wasn't really utilized in the best way. At number 2, I would put this year's Godzilla vs. Kong. It was a lot of fun. I mean, watching a huge monkey punch a huge lizard for 2 hours doesn't seem like the best use of a person's time, but they definitely delivered on the title. The one thing that I was a little upset about is that it seems like in recent years, every Versus movie has to end in the 2 finding common ground and fighting a third unexpected enemy. I mean, Batman vs. Superman did this, that was a worse film than this, but still, it just seems like kind of a cop-out. I mean, Godzilla did win the 3rd round and it was pretty definitive, but still, at the end, they kind of made peace with it and there wasn't really a clear kind of victor over the other, which is kind of what I was looking for in this movie. Of course, it's, only the beginning of the cinematic universe, so they're gonna have Godzilla and Kong come back, but just kind of felt a little lame to, have Mechagodzilla suddenly be the villain and them join forces. That's not really what I was looking for. The human characters were beyond stupid in this movie. The villain was just literally the dumbest character they could have possibly made. He had no redeeming qualities, which I know is really the point of these movies, but still, it still kind of annoys me when you're looking at it. I mean, of course, these movies are good because they're bad, but still. put some effort into it, guys. Although the action in this movie was top notch, the CGI was great. Kong actually was probably the best character in this movie. This is really his story, so I enjoyed that. His story with the little girl, that was actually made me want to root for Kong, so that was nice. There are a lot of logic issues with the movie, but overall it was a lot of fun. And in first place, I'm gonna put the movie that I really have a soft spot for, Kong Skull Island. This one was a complete reimagining of the King Kong origin story. I love the Peter Jackson 2005 version, but it kind of needed some fresh air this series. So the 2017 reimagining of Kong was just, it was incredible to watch. It had a great cast. Not that the characters were really deserving of those actors to portray them, but still, it was a very fun movie. The plot is, you know, actually an allegory kind of for the Vietnam War. That was an interesting take on the story of a, you know, beloved monster who's been in movies for over 90 years. The actors are all great. I mean, as I said, the characters aren't that great, but Samuel L. Jackson, love him and everything. Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, all great actors. I mean, I'm a great Marvel fan, so having, you know, 4 out of the 5 lead actors be in Marvel movies is, you know, really fun for me to see. Because Loki, Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury would never team up or, you know, be the central characters in their own movie. So it was fun to see that. A lot of fun. Actually, a relatively good plot for a movie of this genre, I guess I can put it. And it kind of made me feel for Kong for the first time. So it's a worthy installment in the Monsterverse, and hopefully we'll get a lot more Kong movies in the future, and this was a good way to start the new iteration of his character. Please let me know down in the comments what your ranking would be. My ranking is, you know, it could be the one that you guys have, but it could be different. It's just my opinion. So please let me know what yours is, and we can have a civil debate in the comments and, you know, maybe discuss the merits of certain films and the drawbacks of others. So yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one.